Hey everybody, it's Katie from the Hive Collective, and we are on week 3 of Let's Learn Together. And on this week's episode, things are going to be a little different because instead of doing CV2 that is only for rooms 2.0, we're doing CV2 that you can use in both regular and 2.0 rooms, which is pretty exciting. If you don't follow us already on our YouTube, check it out. It's the Hive Collective RR, and this video will be there as well. All right, well, let's get started on today's lesson. Okie dokie. So, we've all had that situation where we need to get from point A to point B very quickly. Now, you could run there, or you could set up a teleportation device. So that's what we're going to do today. And I'm going to show you two different methods that we can do this. One has audio cues and visual cues and uses a respawn method. The other is just a quick, seamless A to B. No noises, no visuals. So you know the drill. Let's pull out our maker pen and then we're going to go into create on our tools menu. We're going to make sure we go to palette and we're going to search for an interaction volume. And you can just go ahead and draw that wherever. And then we're also going to need a vector component. And if you've watched my videos before, you guys know I like to put everything in first and then afterwards wire everything up and kind of explain how it works. We need a set rotation, which I'm just going to put here. We need a get rotation, which I'll put there. Get position. Delay. And set position. Okay, cool. So those are the 4 things that we're going to need. So let's go ahead. Wait, did I just say 4 things? My brain must be really tired. I've been up since 4 a.m., so just bear with me. That's definitely more than 4 things. Okay, so to wire it all, we go to the connection tool. We want to go to our interaction volume, and you'll see it has a little prompt on there on use. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to drag that and we're going to connect it to the set rotation. And then the other thing that we need to make sure that we do is we need to set up that it's the player that actually clicked the button that is the one that is the target, the person who is going to be teleported. Perfect. Okay, so once we have that set in, what we want to do is we want to look at our vector component and we're going to connect it to our get rotation and our get position. And to do that, there's 2 outputs on here. We want to make sure we're clicking on the top one and we're going to this target here and we want to go to this again and go to that bottom one there. Amazing. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this rotation, we're going to connect it here. On the bottom here, this get position, we're going to connect it up here. You'll notice that there's a target on here as well. This is to set the position for the player. Again, we wanted the person who pushed the button. So we're going to go ahead and grab that. Also, I apologize, I keep calling it a button, but I'm talking about the interaction volume. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to take this and run it here. And then after the delay, we are going to go here and then we need to set up the actual delay itself. And I think if we do like a 0.5 seconds, that should be pretty good. Okay, perfect. So now to just kind of re-explain this, that's all the wiring. It's nice and simple. You gotta love it. But now to explain this, just to make sure it makes sense. So when they click the interaction volume, the player that has clicked the interaction volume is triggering the set rotation chip. Now this set rotation chip is hooked up to our get rotation and our get position. And when you look up here, you're going to see that there are numbers on this, and that's kind of like the GPS coordinates. So what is happening is this vector, where this arrow is, That's what that number is. So when it says get rotation or get position, and it's connected into this, how it's going to the target, it's getting the information from this vector component to then set that position and set that rotation, which is why we're hooked in this way. And then basically what we want to do is, yes, we want to set them to that position, but that we have a delay chip here. So it's not going to immediately happen. It's going to wait that 0.5 seconds and then send them, which 0.5 seconds is next to nothing, but you just want a little bit of a delay. Cool. So now let's see this puppy in action. Now, if I click on this right now, it's just going to send me right where this arrow is. So we should have some fun and put it somewhere else. So let's grab the move tool and we'll just put it way back here. And I'm just going to give it a quick rotate. So we're facing this way when we come out. Because what I'll do is I'll face the camera so you can see after I touch it, I wind up way down there. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and push this and then bam! You can see we got sent all the way over here. Maybe we want to see that again on another angle. Bam! You look at the cube, you put your hand, and bam. Amazing. All right, now that we're done that, let's go ahead. I'm going to delete the chips and we're going to rebuild it now with the respawn method where you get that audio cue and the visual cue. Okay, this one's a little more simple. Again, we're going to pull out our maker pen and we're going to go to our palette. This time we're going to need the interaction volume. We are going to need a respawn. A vector component, which I'm just going to stick kind of up here, and a get position, which I'll just kind of put maybe off to the side here. Amazing. All right, so let's go tools, and we're going to go to connect, and it's kind of the same thing as before, just a little more simplified. So on the use of the interaction volume, we want to respawn the character or the player. We want the player that touched it to be the one that goes. And then what we want to do is we want to take our vector component. Again, we're going to take this top one. We're going to connect it over here. That's what's going to get the position for this chip here, as we said before. We're going to take the bottom one and we're going to connect that to the rotation. And then, of course, because we need to feed the information, like right now, the rotation information is being fed in here, as you can see, but the position information also needs to be fed over here. And there you have it. That's it. That's all. That one's a lot more easy. So let's go ahead now and we'll grab the component and we'll do the same thing. We'll take it way over here. We'll give it a little rotation. Awesome. Now I will let you know when I click this, normally what's going to happen is it'll show you like a black fade out and then an audio cue. Because I'm recording on my second screen, it actually goes orange and does like a Rec Room logo, but when you do it and you're playing in your games, it will actually fade out to black. I just figured I'd mention that because it'll look a little bit different, but the sound will be the same. All right, let's go ahead and let's grab this baby. Ta-da! And I'm sure you heard the bloop. That was a really bad impression, but as you saw, there was a visual cue and an audio cue. And I think mainly the difference, like if you were teleporting through a door to get to point A to point B, you would probably use the first method that I showed you. Whereas if you were maybe a PvP situation where people were getting shot and killed, maybe you would use the respawn method because you'd want them to have an audio and visual cue. I mean, at the end of the day, it's personal preference. But I hope this video is helpful, and I can't wait for next week when we go over something new. I hope you guys have a great day. It's been a snowstorm here all day, so I gotta go shovel. But thank you for stopping by. Thank you for hanging out on the video, and we will see you next time.